Hey mages on the internet, Matt here from TOTALmtg. So we have a new non-rotating format coming to Magic the Gathering. It's known as Pioneer. So this is starting from Return to Ravnica and all the sets going forward from that, and does look very exciting from what they released this week. Now there is a little bit of a ban list, only a small one so far, which is the old fetch lands. We're not going to be able to be fetching with our lovely fetch lands. They just say they're too broken for this format and they can stay in Modern and other formats where they belong. They don't want people, just building decks that would totally interact with those lands. And to me, I'm okay with that. What I'm not okay with is it's not going to be on Arena, first of all, but that's just totally a different topic for another day. But let me know what you think of Pioneer and how you think it's going to going forward. So today, I'm starting off with my first deck tech for Pioneer. And of course, it's going to be one of the channel's favourites. It's Dimir Mill. Of course, I'm going to do Dimir Mill. I love playing Mill. And the channel, people on the channel just seem to love it. I could turn this into a Mill channel without a doubt. So, without further ado, let's have a look at my deck that I've put together for Blue-Black Mill, starting from Return to Ravnica for this new Pioneer format. So I've got a 60 card main deck for you and a 15 card sideboard. Now, we don't know if there's going to be any future bans yet. I think they're going to try it a little bit on MTGO first and paper and get a little bit of feedback. And then, so I wouldn't advise rushing into the really expensive cards or combos that could be a bit degenerate at the moment. That's just my advice. But I've got this deck, and I think this deck is pretty safe, to be honest. So here is the Mill deck, and we're going to have 8 creatures in the main board, a play set of each of Manic Scribe and Wall of Lost Thoughts. Now, Manic Scribe has come from Shadows over Innistrad. It's a 0/3. Now, both of our creatures do have lovely toughness stats, in case there's any aggro players out there, which I'm sure there will be. So Manic Scribe is a 0/3, enters the battlefield. Each opponent puts the top 3 cards from the library straight into the graveyard, so we can start our mill off straight away, turn 2 with the Manic Scribe. Wall of Lost Thoughts does the similar sort of thing as well, ends the battlefield, but the target player puts the top 4 cards in. So the difference between these two, other than the toughness, obviously that Manic Scribe has Delirium. Delirium for us is at the beginning of each opponent's upkeep. If they have 4 or more card types in there, they will continue to put top 3 cards of their library into their graveyard. And that just seems really cool at the beginning of their upkeep. It just means constant mill. If the Manic Scribe, of course, can stay alive, that's the test of that creature. So now we're going to go on to the spells. I mean, not many creatures in there because we are aiming to mill our opponent. For those of you, there won't be many of you that don't know what mill is. Obviously, mill, we're trying to get opponent's library straight into the graveyard, let them draw no more cards, and then we just basically win the game. So the first spell we're going, probably the best removal that's going to be in Pioneer, I'm thinking Fatal Push. As a 2 of them, we also got a couple more in the sideboard. So this will destroy target creature if it has coveted mana cost 2 or less. This was amazeballs when this was in Standard. I loved Fatal Push. It was just so good. Has Revolt, but we don't have the fetch lands, which is very different, obviously, when you're playing Fatal Push. But I'm going to be playing Field of Ruins, which obviously is a land that can go to the graveyard, leaves the battlefield, and the Fable Passage, the new card as well. So we can get Revolt with this and potentially destroy a bigger creature. You thought Erasure was bad. Thoughtseize is going to be in this format. People that play Modern and obviously Legacy and stuff like that, no, Thoughtseize is really good. It's going to be really good in Pioneer as well. We're going to play 2 in the main, 2 in the side as well. Target player reveal their hand, choose a non-land card from it, take away their combo, their best piece, anything like that. And you do get drained for 2 life. But hey, for 1 mana, turn 1 play, turn 1 Thoughtseize. Well, there's only one thing better. Probably turn 1 Elvish Mystic. But that's just all you green fans out there. To me, turn 1 Thoughtseize is pretty disgusting. So we're going to get on to our first mill spell here, Tomb Scour. Target player puts the top 5 cards of their library into graveyard. We got 4 of these in there, so that's 20 cards going to be going straight away from your opponent's library, and it's great for 1 mana. Break-In is in there. We're not going to be using Entering. I'm not playing the red mana. Break-In is in there for 2 mana. We're going to put the top 8 in there. Really going on this mill plan in this deck. And we also have Mind Sculpt as well, which means the target opponent puts the top 7 in there for 2 mana. This deck can really, just totally obliterate your opponent's library. That is the aim of it. And we can flash them back potentially with Mission Briefing as well. I'm putting 3 of these in the main. Double blue. Yeah, it's not too bad, double blue. But getting to cast one of those mill cards again, potentially play 1, mill for 8, play this, do it again. Mill for 8, 16 cards. You know, that's just over a quarter of a deck. This deck can really do some work. So we're getting on to Collective Brutality as a cheeky one-off in there, but there's more in the sideboard. This has Escalate, so you have to discard a card. But it's just so versatile, so which is why I put it in the deck as one of in the main. It can make a creature get -2/2. We can drain our opponent and gain a little bit of, useful life. And target opponent reveals his or her hand, choose an instant sorcery card, and then they can discard it. So this works very well along our Thoughtseize. Now, getting obviously our opponent to discard these cards and milling them, a card like Crypt Incursion is going to be great for the deck as well. It can help us with a little bit of life gain. Exile all creatures from target player's graveyard. I mean, if they're not playing creature decks, you take this out, you sub it out, bring something in game 2 or game 3 from the sideboard. But this will gain you 3 life for each of those creature cards exiled. And if you're playing a heavy creature deck, maybe you're going to get 8 to 10 creatures with this. Could be 30 life. That is just game swinging. New from Throne of Eldraine, we're putting in Drown in the Loch because this is just the perfect card for mill decks. It can counter a spell, it can destroy a target creature, all dependent on what's in your controller's graveyard. But we will hit those stats because that's what we aim to do in this deck. So it benefits us to play Drown in the Loch, and we'll have that in there as a 4-of. We're going to play 1-of Search for Ascanton just because it's a really good enchantment card and can help us find those non-creature cards. And also a 1-of Bontu's Last Reckoning. Now, we don't have Damnation, that didn't make it into Pioneer, just a little bit too far back. But this, for 3 mana, destroy all creatures and lands you control don't untap. I mean, that's not great, but for 3 mana, potentially you might not need to play anything at the end of turn, or you could maybe have a few mana up still to cast a spell. Bontu's Last Reckoning is a bit of an underused card because of that stipulation, but I do feel it can definitely do some work. The last card in the main is a Murderous Cut because it has Delve, so it can be a 1 mana destroy target creature potentially for us. It's a really nice card, Murderous Cut, and when you're playing this sort of deck, it can help because we've got lots of cheap mana spells, and for 1 mana to destroy any target creature, Murderous Cut is a great addition. So let's get on to the land base now. No fetch lands. We're going to have 1 of Castle Vantris. Tapped unless you control an island, but it does let us scry for 4 mana. Scry 2 as well, really good. Then we're going to have the Drowned Catacombs and the Watery Graves as our lands that will attack for the Dimir that we like. And then Fable Passage and Field of Ruins, like I mentioned as well. 4 Fable, 2 Field of Ruins, because we've got 8 basics in there, islands and swamps, 4 of each. But these will help us search for those basics and obviously trigger for Fatal Push as well. 23 lands in total, I feel is enough. The modern deck runs 22, roughly as I've seen as an average. But we're going 23. We might change this around and potentially if we feel like we can get away with 22 after further testing, maybe we can add in another card into the main deck, potentially something like an extra Bontu's or Search, or maybe even another Murderous Cut. Maybe we need a bit more removal. So sideboard now, we got, a lot of cards that we've got in the main, we've got more of in the sideboard, a couple of more Fatal Push in there and a couple more Thoughtseize and Collective Brutality. These cards are just really strong and are going to see so much play in Pioneer, and they can come in against certain types of matchups where we need more of these. We've got a couple of Planeswalkers in there, both the Ashiok Dream Render, and we're going for Ashiok Nightmare Weaver. Both can do great things, both can mill, and I would have really loved to get these in the main. Maybe I can squeeze that extra one in when I maybe take one of the lands out. But I think they can both do work for us, and I wouldn't be surprised if you want to put them in the main because you love them so much. Please just go ahead and do it, and let me know how that works out for you if you get to play this deck, and obviously love Pioneer. We've also got Hero's Downfall in there because it's just a great card. You could potentially put Murderous Rider in there if you want to, because then you get a creature. But I'm going Hero's Downfall, destroy target creature or Planeswalker with no life loss with that, but you don't get the creature. So the last 2 spells in the sideboard, we've got a couple of Languish. I've already spoke about Damnation isn't there, so we're looking for board removal because we're milling. We're just looking to do that, so that is what we want. And that is a -4/4 to all creatures. So potentially would kill ours as well, but they're going to be just there as blockers. But then, this is what we need potentially to do a board wipe. And then to help us against any dedicated graveyard decks that we would only be enhancing by playing mill, we've got Leyline of the Void as a 4-of in the sideboard. Because you want 4, because you really want it in your opening hand when you're playing those decks to give yourself a bit of a chance. And then when you're milling them as well, you will be just be putting them straight into exile. And Leyline of the Void can really destroy graveyard decks. If they don't have the removal, don't think you're bringing it in, it literally can be GG's. So this is my first Pioneer brew. Tell me what you think. It's Mill, it's Dimir Mill. I love playing Mill, and I really hope to get some gameplay of this. It's going to go on MTGO, so maybe I will be able to record some, so let me know in the comments if you want to see some Pioneer action. I probably will be putting some more decks together as well, but as it is the hype at the moment, Pioneer just been released, I thought I'd share with you my first brew. Please let me know in the comments. Don't forget to say hello in the comments and put the likes on there and subscribe if you're new. It all helps me and helps TOTALmtg grow. And I really do appreciate all your support that you give all the videos. Thanks a lot, everyone. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching. Take care, and I will see you on the next video.